What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Joique Bell feeling it here this morning.
As is D this morning.
Can we just comment before you start? Our 3-shot that, please, behind us. Is that not the coolest thing? And that's I think, dope. Neal, if you guys look over Neal's, yes, exactly, the big buck up in the corner, Wayne Fontes. Did we not agree that
Wayne
was the best
Fontes,
one
man.
on there?
That is my favorite one. We got to get... I don't know how Wayne's health is these days, but I gotta reach out to some people. I got some connections that know him. I got to get Wayne Fontes on the show just to pay respect.
I'm sure Mads has his phone number from back in the day when he used to cut his grass.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. He's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. Yeah. Again, my name is Neal Ruhl. Joique Bell in the house as well. You know the squad at this point. Art in the building. Fish
El
as
Toro.
well. Yeah, Arturo, man, the child of the Flint streets. He is here in effect. Got a big time show lined up for you. Some developments in the Urban Meyer situation that I think Joique will be able to speak to really, really well. Lions news as well. The Cowboys released Jalen Smith. Everybody in the Lions Nation wants him here. I don't. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Jamie Collins landed on his feet. Guess where? We'll get to it. The early NFL lines, the power rankings. Red Sox Yankees. I know Joique tuned in yesterday. I was watching it too. As you guys know, Tom Mazaway is our great and good friend and resident, New Yorker, New York Yankee fan, New York Mets fan, all that kind of stuff. It was really sad to see the Yankees get bounced out of the playoffs, man. That broke my heart.
Oh, it broke your heart?
It did.
You know who heart it really broke?
Tom Mazaway. He gonna cry in the car.
He's gonna cry walking in. He probably have a late start this morning.
Did you guys watch the game?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, but when Stanton hit that one to the top of the wall, like there was a couple balls, but it didn't have the New York attitude. Right, instead of running it out and whatever, and I know that for whatever reason it hit the top of the wall, he ended up with a, what do they call it, a wall single or whatever like that. But the fact that he wasn't running it out, or there was a couple other times where he thought he had home runs, but isn't that sort of the panache of the Yankees, though?
And it was great to see. I was here for it. Yeah. I was absolutely here for it. I loved it.
Cards and Dodgers.
I hate the Cardinals. You think people hate the Yankees? I feel that way about the Cardinals. I'm sure a lot of Tiger fans do too.
Why? Yeah, I thought you were going to say Dodgers.
What, did Mark McGwire do something to you back in the day?
No, man. Mark McGwire delivered. I would go to the game and watch him take batting practice. He hit the ball at the stadium. He delivered. My problem is just with the Cardinals in general. What they did to the Tigers and beat them in the World Series, and they always win all the time, and they won like 100 games in a row this year to get in the playoffs, and that's
so they delivered. So you didn't like when they delivered with Mark, but you don't like when they delivered
against the Tigers. No, I didn't, and I have a lot of respect for them. There's very much a Boston Celtics. I don't quite hate them to the level I hated the Boston Celtics, but there's very much a Boston Celtics-esque hate-spect for them. Like, I respect them, I do, because they always get the job done, but at the same time, I hate them. And I'm not gonna.
I can go either way. I'm not a fan. I would say I would rather watch. I'll watch the game because I'm more of a Dodgers fan, and I don't want to say I'm a Dodgers fan, but I don't mind watching them. I don't mind watching them.
See, I am a Max Scherzer guy though, so I do want the Dodgers to win. That's another reason.
How about those numbers? And just to be
if only the Tigers could have had pitchers like that.
You know what the one thing is, too, and a little side note, little side baseball, but see what Robbie Ray, former Tiger, did for the Blue Jays this year? ERA, strikeouts, innings. There's another guy that we know pitching prospect is whether we can keep it or not.
Right, but Robbie Ray is going to get paid, man. So, we'll keep an eye on that, certainly, as the season rolls on. But, yeah, just got a lot of big-time stuff to get in with you. Michigan-Nebraska talk. Joique will tell me how Michigan's on the road to the national title. We'll get that.
One game at a time.
We'll get that daily thing for you coming up.
One game at a time.
Right around noon. So, the NFL playoff picture, too. I am a big fan of projections. The way too early NFL playoff picture. I'm a big guy with bowl projections as well. I love that stuff. We'll get to all of it here today. Your thoughts, your comments as well. Our YouTube channel. Get involved on the chat thread there. If you're listening on the radio, certainly we do appreciate that. 93.5 The Roar as well. I did get a bit of speaking of Michigan, I did get a little bit of late breaking Michigan news. Michigan wide receiver Roman Wilson has a broken wrist and probably will be out the next 3 to 4 weeks. So that's being talked about right now. That Michigan passing game that, Joique has been somewhat suspect, or am I being a hater?
No, you're not.
No? Okay. I'm going to do that as we go forward. I'm going to clear everything with you first, and you'll be like the resident. You'll be like the resident judge, and then that way when I go to the people on the YouTube that call me a hater, I have like 2-layer authentication. Does that make any sense?
I hear what you're saying.
Okay, so I'll run it by you. If it's cool with you, then we'll take it to the streets, and if the streets are good with it, then I can go with it. Is that fair?
That's fair enough.
All right, but anyway, this Urban Meyer thing, and again, I know, man.
Well,
fair
enough. What are you gonna do? That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
This or a whole Urban Meyer thing. And Joique, the news has come out. The players were put off. I guess Meyer canceled Monday's team meetings.
Yeah,
as he dealt with the uproar.
That's usually doesn't. You know what? We used to have this thing called Victory Mondays, where you come in and you don't have to come in. It's like the day off. When you lose, and then the meeting's canceled, they're making this it's a distraction, of course, but they're making it a bigger distraction than what it is. Like, it's a big distraction. Understand this. And get this. When you have people in leadership, like the head coach, some things are frowned upon that, if that was a player doing that, it wouldn't have been an issue. It happens all the time. But that was a player doing that, and that happened. They caught a player on film, and he was in a bar, and the girl was dancing on him. That's fine. But when you're married and you're a head coach and you're leading a group of men, it looks bad. It looks bad. But I think the person that should be most upset isn't the one that's upset. His wife is not upset about it.
But what looks worse, right? To me, it's not the lap dance. It's the fact that you are an NFL coach with arguably the worst franchise and whatever, and then you're missing practice because you don't, for what I want to deal with this stuff, or you're not man enough to step up and continue your daily, because a player, right? A player, he gets caught or whatever like that. He's at practice. He's at the meeting. He don't get to skip practice and stuff. So I think it's the way that it's handled. And Urban Meyer handled it more like he did when he was running the college programs. And that's how more of a college, I guess, acceptability to be able to cancel practice and go into individual. Instead of speaking to the team, he spoke to the individual groups.
Position groups.
And even, when he's trying to say, and it was in quotes, that he portrayed the woman in the video as a random person who was there just dancing. And, one of the players said, we looked at him like, WTF. Right when he left, everyone started dying laughing. We knew, bottom line, to the player, it's bad. I don't know how he's going to function.
And that's
a losing team,
an 0-4 team, and that's the angle, Joique, that I want to get your take on. One play, as you said, Darren.
I'm not canceling that Monday meeting. I'm not. If I'm the head coach, I'm not. I'm getting in front of it. Listen, team, I made a mistake. This is what happened.
You're going to be a man about it.
I'll be a man about it, and that's the thing, though. And they can respect that, right? And understand they might not like you because of the I guess
the circus that's attached to you
right,
all the time.
Everything that comes with it, right? So I will be upset, but even if I don't like you, I'm gonna respect you. And I remember growing up, my dad would do some things. I'm like, well, why would you do that? He said, listen, I don't care. You don't have to like me, but you're gonna respect me. And he would look me in my eyes and say, all right, I respect you. Because sometimes he did things that I didn't understand, but it was in my best interest at the time. But with this team, the best thing for him to do, have that Monday meeting, address the team, let them know what's going on, send them to their position meetings, and then if you want to go handle more things with the circus, with the media, or with the owner, then you go do that and let them know that when they're done with the position meetings, they can head home. But you don't cancel the whole day.
It escalated quickly.
Right, you don't, and so it escalated quickly.
Here's the whole thing. Here's the opposite. If this happens, then he rushes back to Jacksonville and has a meeting, gets in front of it with the guys and say, boys, man, I messed up. Boys, I messed up, and this and whatever else, and sort of use that as he sort of, but guys, can you relate? Can you relate? Hey, we got to go to work, and sort of use this and flipped it around and use it as more of a positive instead of running from it. Then you might have got that respect of, coach is just one of us,
Real quick, we had a quick video of Dan Orlovsky kind of weighing in on his thoughts on it. Let's give it a listen.
Going over in the Jaguars locker room today.
Not only the locker room, but Shad Khan, you need to find your new head coach, bro. It's time for Urban Meyer to be dismissed and relieved of his duties. This is not the first distraction, right? This is not a visceral reaction to what Urban Meyer did, even though there needs to be one to that as well. He brought in a strength coach that had racist history. He brought in Tim Tebow to play tight end, which he never did in the NFL before. This is a pattern that we've seen go on since Urban Meyer has been the head coach in Jacksonville. And then this particular situation with a young quarterback, first pick, just married, 0-4, trying to win football games, and the coach is the exact wrong reason why they in the news. I play football.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Said, don't be the guy to take focus off of what we're doing as a football team as we try to win games. It was a message.
Right, that wasn't Dan Orlovsky. Dan came
Marcus Spears. That was actually Marcus Spears.
So Dan was coming in after that and basically kind of weighing in on the Trevor Lawrence situation when he talked about the quarterback and the quarterback taking his career and putting it into Coach Urban Meyer's hands. And you are the person that's supposed to be leading me down the right way, the right path, so I can have a long, successful career in this league. Because everyone knows, if you ever played in the NFL, I played 7 years in it, it is very hard to have a successful career in the NFL. The mental toughness you have to have, the physical toughness, the mental toughness when it comes from what are you eating? What are you eating?
You got to get some lucky breaks along the way. I mean, you do.
That you have all these things that's happening with you throughout your career, and you have a coach who's not living by what he's preaching in the locker room. And so basically what Dan was trying to allude to, what he was alluding to, was that I can't trust you. How am I supposed to trust you when you're not living by the same methods which you preach to the rest of the team?
And
How
I
can
get
you
that.
win like that?
And that's my thing, Joique. Where my big question to you is when a player says, we looked at him like WTF, right when he left, everyone started dying laughing, and he knew it. It's bad. I don't know how he's going to function. It's over, right? And I think that's what the locker room sounded like. No, but Joique, my point with the question is this. And here, is this why the college coach thing doesn't work? Is this why? Because when you're a college coach, you rule with absolute authority. You are a dictator, right? I mean, you are. Let's be real about it. Yeah. You're a dictator when you're a big-time college coach. Everything that goes on goes by you, goes through you. You decide everything. In the NFL, it's different. Cats are there with $60 million contracts, $100 million contracts. You come out there acting the fool like that,
Neal,
you can't. How are you going to respect that?
They're men. They're not boys.
They're not kids.
It's a different hierarchy. It's a different directional. You got guys, wives, kids, stuff like this. It's a different. You got to have respect there. You can't have that authoritarian parental, which is more what you see in college. So you gotta gain the guy's respect, and there's different ways to do that. It can be us versus him. But as long as like Scotty Bowman, it was about collecting championships at the end instead of my way or the highway. So it all depends. But the biggest thing is boys to men, ABC, BBD.
Hey, that's the East Coast family. We all know that. But Rack in our YouTube chat thread says, well, Dan Orlovsky should know something about crossing the line too soon. he's never going to live that one down, man.
Me and Dan we have a handshake together, and I think he's past the part of it being embarrassing, like it happened, right?
Yeah.
Our handshake is basically, we smack and then we point down to the ground like watch the white line, and so that's kind of our handshake.
No, and I've interviewed him before, and he has kind of come full circle on that. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say?
That's the thing, though. You see how Dan was able to own that,
right? Versus
Urban not canceling the team meeting and not wanting to come in. Like, no, you deal with this head on. Like, you deal with this head on.
That's the whole thing too, right? Just what you said. Rapid tie it right back up is because I said so works in college or high school or whatever, but it doesn't work with men.
No,
why?
Especially men that are making hundreds of millions of dollars too.
Yeah, that helps.
That's a factor. But very clearly it's losing season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. but it's winning season at MyBookie, and this week entries are now open for the winner-take-all Super Contest. MyBookie, it's the only sports book that offers online Super Contest, so you can't miss out on this exclusive promotion. Enter now. You can turn $10 into $10,000, $10,000. Weeks 5 through 8. Make 5 picks against the spread. Get them right. Earn points, rise up the standings, and take home the $10,000 grand prize. How about this one for you guys? Packers, Bucks, Titans, Vikings, and Ravens. Boom. You're set for week number 5. And as if you needed another reason to head to mybookie.ag to celebrate the start of the MLB playoffs and the end for the New York Yankees, who lasted 9 innings longer than the Tigers did this year, if you're into facts. MyBookie's hosting a $20,000 blackjack tournament that's absolutely free to enter. Winning season's here. Get in the game. Go to mybookie.ag right now. Use the promo code Woodward, and when you make your first deposit at MyBookie, you'll receive your deposit in doble, as in double. That's a promo code Woodward. You can double your funds, double your winnings, bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a gambling problem? Call the Michigan Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house. Canuck Duke on our YouTube chat thread. You can get involved there too. Go to our YouTube channel and just start firing away like hundreds of other people do in that YouTube chat thread. Canuck Duke says the addition of the soundboard is excellent. Thank you, Woodward Sports. So we're 13 minutes into it, already being critically acclaimed.
I knew it'd be give a shout out to the Godfather of Detroit radio, Drew Lane, and that's his.
Big Drew.
He's the king. He's the king of the soundboard.
Yeah.
So he gave the blessing that we should incorporate this in ours.
It's funny on that podcast they were talking about who should be the next play-by-play guy for Michigan football, and I guess my name came up. I was told.
Nice. Could you do it? Let's there we go.
That'd be
Could you see? Because I know you
get stuck in right there. You get stuck.
He could do a good.
You get stuck.
You'd be
there.
good because.
Hey, I'm just saying things would turn real quick.
Are you leaving
Joique,
the show?
would you approve?
No.
You know what, man? Like I told Sean when Sean was here, hey, you gotta go. You gotta get up out of here. You gotta go.
No, I was blown away though. Don't to hear those guys like bring up your that hits different. To hear those guys when they bring up your name, it does. It just I'm honored by that. I have had no contact with the Michigan Athletic Department. I don't anticipate them giving me a phone call anytime soon.
Neal, if they watch the show.
Oh, hold on, 734. Oh no.
We send in your best
you do
parts
have that
of the tape.
play-by-play board.
Can we cut up Neal's why Michigan will win the national championship?
I don't think he does cut-ups.
Stay tuned. Later.
I make this look good.
You need to cut it.
Yeah, I know.
No, but we're wrapping up this Urban Meyer discussion, and to me, I think that's where it is.
Though, real quick, why aren't we talking about what happened before the show? I think that's great. We should talk about that. That's what makes shows great. Let's talk about what happened right before we went on air. Why are we not talking about it? It was greatness, and I feel like the audience should know what happened.
Oh, it was great stuff, but that's more so internal. Kind of like
we're on the broadcast. What are you talking about?
That was in a closed door meeting. That meeting was closed to the media.
Glass.
And you wasn't even part of it because you was in that room.
I was getting the show ready. I was getting the show ready.
That's the show ready. And it was a good show before the show, wasn't it? It was a great show.
But listen, we got to be great.
So while we were on break, I don't know if Art might have started, but I started laughing really, really loud. You see me just start laughing?
Yeah.
Just because I was playing back what happened before the show in my head. It was just hilarious to me. It's funny. It was funny to me.
I just feel like we should talk about it.
All right, go ahead and talk about it, Art.
Yeah.
Keep it on you the whole time.
We had a
under Urban Meyer through next weekend. Does he survive? I'm going to say next Tuesday morning, is he still the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars? And if he is, does that mean he's at least there for the rest of the year? Is it this week the biggest week for him to get through?
You know what's funny is we talked about this yesterday, and I said absolutely no way he's not there, not only for this season, but the season following. But this just keeps, I mean, the hits just keep on coming, man.
Keep coming. More videos coming out.
Remember our conversation, Neal, about what we liked about the Lions is that they would say, okay, we're moving forward, at least, getting rid of Jamie Collins, and we'll talk about him, and, the Muehlbach, getting rid of him after a while, but making these decisions on these wide receivers and some of these players that they have and making those tough decisions that, we like, right?
Yeah, because I don't see them winning within the next 5 weeks. I mean, they have the Titans next week. They have the Dolphins after that. They have the Seahawks after that. They have
But
the
I don't
Bills.
think it's about winning or losing. My thing is it the next few days? So what's the time frame?
It
is
is
he's
about
there
winning.
if he survives?
It
how
is
long?
about.
It is about winning because if they were 4-0, this isn't a story.
If they were 4-0,
it's not a story.
It's not a story.
No. But my question is, since we are where we're at, does he survive? Does he survive the week? If he makes it through the weekend, they're not going to fire him because of the record, or they already would. They'd use it now. I'm saying, what's the time frame where we're waiting to see if he's going to be the coach or they're going to move on from him?
I see where you're going with this, D-Mac. Now, if this was just the story of what happened at the bar, like I said, when they was talking about him being a distraction. Now, going back to hiring the strength and conditioning coach with a racist background, or
dumbass,
and then you also, you bring up Tim Tebow to play tight end, which he's never played. Okay, we knew that. I know we had a lot of people.
Yeah, but we dismiss that because that's a favor. He's doing a favor to his guy.
Right. But so I'm saying, so that happens. Then he goes out there, he stinks it up. He doesn't make the team. Okay, they cut it before they made it to the regular season.
I'm cool with that.
And now this happens, right? So it's one bad decision after another bad decision after another bad decision. Now, at what point do we say, oh, he gets another pass? Now, if, like I said, if it was a player who did that, this would not be a story at all. Oh, he's a player. Players do these type of things, right? When you have your head coach doing it, it becomes a distraction, right? And so now, does he get fired because of that action? No, I don't think he gets fired because of that action, right? But what I think he will do, they might let him go because how it's affecting the locker room. Sure,
and that's the way life works, right? Like he's not going to get fired for the Tebow thing. He's not going to get fired for him being 0-4. But when you keep throwing logs in that fire, eventually the fire gets pretty big. It's not just the one log that makes the fire. It's all these things.
And for him, he's in a point now where he's standing in quicksand. He's trying to do the right things and not winning. He's becoming a distraction, and even when even if he tries to do the right thing, he just continues to make mistake after mistake, which he's getting deeper and deeper into that quicksand.
And there's nothing he can do. But to answer your question, though, I guess we're going the long route to answering your question. I thought that there was no way he doesn't go through at least next season. Barring, Trevor Lawrence saying this guy's a clown.
You dumb.
Yeah, if Trevor Lawrence, if that's not live audio,
it's
Trevor Lawrence.
23 today.
Yeah, right.
What about today?
Yeah, see, the thing is, here's what's holding me up saying that they're definitely gonna get rid of him is you had the owner come out and say, I addressed it with him, we're moving on. And billionaires and guys that are in control, they're not in the business of looking bad, because what's that to Shad Khan? If he comes back tomorrow and says, oh, we're going to fire him, that means he was wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's interesting because in this situation, right, where we say if he's 4-0, it's not an issue. But the fact he's 0-4, and a lot of these players are more, I guess, usable, reusable, right, than the coaches. So you're going to see a lot of turnover with this team, Jacksonville, more so when you lose the dressing room. But when you don't have a dressing room to begin with because of lack of talent, then maybe this is why when Shad Khan comes out, this is why, because the team's so bad. So you got, Trevor Lawrence and one, maybe two other guys?
Yeah, Travis Etienne, who's out for the year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you can get rid of all these guys in the locker room that experience this and bring new guys in if you're going to go with the coach. This is a situation where you could choose locker room or coach, where coach will win.
And you can go get Dabo Swinney.
I'm confused on what he was thinking when he canceled the Monday practice and he spoke to each position group individually. I don't know exactly what he thought was going to happen, because that's actually worse, because as soon as you're done and you walk out of the room, they can say what they want to say within that room, rather just having the entire team in there, addressing the entire team, the coaching staff, the front office people, the scouts, the GM, and I know the owner might even be in there, and address everyone, right? Own it. We're going to move past this. Let's start focusing on next week's game. All right, let's start focusing on the Titans. But no, it went from Monday.
He punked out.
It's going to trickle into the day. It is. It's going to come into the day. And today is the biggest day of the week for the team.
It's not about now. Huh? They're done. It's not about now. You're trying to build this culture. It ain't about this week. It ain't Jacksonville's.
But that's what I'm saying though. But that's what I'm saying though. If he would have came and addressed it on Monday, right? Now they might not like what he did, but they have to respect on how he handled it.
Absolutely.
Now it's two things that's going wrong here. He didn't handle it. Like first of all, he did it, and then secondly, he didn't handle it correctly. Like I don't know who his advisor is, but hey. If you get let go from the Jaguars, you need to find yourself a new advisor. Because,
on our YouTube chat thread, Tammy Chin says, I love that idea, Neal. I got to take it to Twitter and make it happen. Hashtag Neal for next U of M broadcaster. That's pretty funny. Mike G says, Rule Breaker, you'd be great on the call for Michigan, even though you bag on Michigan.
All the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably why they're not calling you.
Mike G says, we need Ruhl, Braylon, and Ryan on that broadcast. Go Blue.
The next lineup. I have
this is funny.
The color analyst.
This is funny. You'd be awesome on the Michigan call, and I'm a Michigan guy and a season ticket holder. Well, all right. See, that's legit.
My boy Detroit Dabber 313. Week 7 is Jacksonville's bye week, right? Do you this might be Urban's week 5 might be Urban's bye week, but that might be something too. I just want. It's because it's such a garbage position organization, and I don't think necessarily ownership in this case is but you look at it. Urban Meyer came in and he's trying to do his college things in my way or the highway, and it doesn't work at the biggest level.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
So
everything
I
falls to the top.
It's tough to see, but I think he survives this.
Listen. I tell you, if Urban Meyer does not work out, it is the owner's fault. It is. Everything falls to the top, and that's what a good leader does. He'll take the heat. All right, I brought him in. I evaluated this guy. He wasn't the right choice. I moved on. We have to, bring in an interim for the rest of the year, or whatever it might be. Do I think he survives that? Yes, I do. But do I think he gets that locker room back? I don't see it happening. Because I've been a player, and I haven't been on a team where the head coach lost the locker room, but I do have players that I'm very close with who played on teams where the coach lost the locker room. And they said once he lost the locker room, they never got it back.
Mike G says, Urban's out in Jacksonville, Rules in Ann Arbor. Let's go. Mike, Neal on the play-by-play and Braylon on the color and Art on the sideline with a 10-7 tattoo. Maybe we could get you 8-4 tattoo.
Anything's possible.
And we'll do it that way. And then finally, Chuck says, if it's going to be Neal, I want a test video first where I hear you talk up Michigan for 60 minutes. Okay, well, Chuck, I want a test check, and then I'll give you that, and then I'll give you that video all day long. But I feel like I'm a real underdog to get the Michigan play-by-play job.
I don't think you're an underdog, but I think if you're looking for some underdog fantasy, I'm your guy, and let me tell you about it. Let's talk about underdog fantasy. If you're 1-3. Like I am in fantasy football for the year, it sucks. You feel miserable. Stop feeling miserable and do some weekly fantasy. That's right. Through their slick mobile app, you can even do and draft a team in minutes with Underdog Fantasy. You deposit $10, you get $10 free using the code WSN. And all the folks at Underdog are going to help you get started. Like I said, $10 free. You get 10 back. Underdog Fantasy. Promo code WSN or visit UnderdogFantasy.com. We got more Big D energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
on and popping here. Big D energy. Joy, give him one. Big D! Joique Bell. My name's Neal Ruhl. He's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. Art and Fish in here as well. Stick's roaming around in the studio, too. Stick gives a vibe, man. Stick gives off a vibe when he's in the room. I ride with it.
I like the little ad-libs that he throws in there here and
there.
I like that.
I ride with Stick. No question about it. But we'll keep monitoring this Urban Meyer situation. I'm sure news will change by the minute, and I'm sure we'll get those updates as well. So as of now, Urban's still the coach. I'm not the Michigan play-by-play guy. That's where we're at here through the first 30 minutes of the show. Did want to talk some Detroit Lions, though, and I'm hearing a whole lot of talk today that Dallas Cowboys was released this morning, that they will release Jalen Smith, their linebacker. That will come, I guess, by later on in the day. I think by 4 o'clock is the number that they have to do it. And a lot of people, D-Mac, are talking about how the Lions should take that as an opportunity to jump in there and get in the mix for Jalen Smith. And while you've heard me, this is going to sound really weird, so stay with me here for a minute. While you've heard me talk about the Lions linebacking situation and how bad it is, and you don't have to believe me, you can watch film with Joique, and he'll break it down.
You suck again.
I'm sorry, but the linebackers haven't been good for a while. But anyway, with that being said, everyone's initial reaction is to jump on that Jalen Smith bandwagon and say, all right, we got to go get Jalen Smith. And just, I'm not here for that. Dude's got a cap hit of $9.8 million this year, $6.8 million next year, which I understand he'll be released. But D-Mac, as you and I were talking about, it's not like he's going to take the veteran minimum to roll in here and say, oh, I'm going to go play for the Detroit Lions. And if he's not going to do that, Darren, I'm not interested. I'm interested in rookie contracts.
Well, it ruins the play that we talk about all the time that we're in agreement with. You got to hit on your first, second rounders, get to that second contract, and work on the draft capital. So that's where the big play is here if the Lions are sticking to their game plan. Now, in a perfect world, he would take the minimum because he's getting a buyout and stuff like this, but at his age, it's not going to happen. So it's one of these things that I'm sure he's going to look to go get his money, and he's not in the mood for a rebuild. So this should be a hard pass, in my opinion, just because what we're trying to put in place and how we're trying to get ahead as a Lions organization.
Am I on to something here, Joique?
Yes and no. Anyone that we're bringing in, any veterans that we're bringing in to be a part of this culture here, we have to make sure that they fit the scheme in 31 games. Are they going to be here in 31 games? Or are they going to help us in 31 games? Because right now, that's what we're building towards. I don't want guys to fill in for this year or next year, but if they're part of a bigger picture, a bigger plan, then yes, bring them in. But for him, no, not right now. If he comes in, like you said, he comes in for minimum, and he can come and he can instill some game in the younger linebackers, then I'm all for it.
He ain't coming for the minimum, Joique.
Huh?
He's not coming for the minimum.
I understand that.
There'll be a lot of suitors out there.
There'll be a lot of suitors.
That man his money.
That's the thing.
No, KGB. We're not paying that man his money.
No one's going to trade and take that cap hit, though.
No, yeah, and no one's going to do that. So he's going to be released at 4 o'clock.
Right.
I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And someone's going to give him money. But look, I know the fantasy football nature of the way we are, and I catch myself doing it too. I'm not going to be critical of everybody and say I don't do it sometimes too. But the Patriots are releasing Stephon Gilmore, so I know everybody looks to that as well. I'm not interested, guys, because you know where I stand. Hashtag 2023. I got to get those shirts out. Honolulu blue with the silver hashtag 2023. We're 4 of 34 in. That's the path right now. And I'm not interested in bringing in contracts or bringing in big money because the currency in the National Football League is rookie contracts, cap space. That's it. The talent follows that. When you have the rookie contracts, you get them on talent. That's the discount to market for the economic majors out there, which I am certainly not. But I do understand supply and demand, and I do understand value. That's the currency in the NFL because that's where the value is. When you have a Patrick Mahomes type on a rookie contract, that's where you're getting over.
You got to base it, right? Where you either building it on the lines or whatever, but on your offense or defense to have 5 or 6 guys that you hit with, because then you can build around and then you can plug and place different guys in. So it's so important for your foundation, I believe, Neal, right? Your foundation, if your quarterback is drafted, that's a double bonus because what do they make it, $40 million now, 35, 40, right, on their contract. So
they're up in that Joique Bell. They're up in that Joique Bell stratosphere now.
Yeah, I'm
close. I mean, by 2023, they will be. But that's the whole thing. So now the game is you can't go out and piece it all together. I mean, one year you can go for it and stuff, but to be successful over time, we got to hit on these draft picks. So it's a build. So it even leads more to what we're saying. Stay away from these guys if 2023 is still at play. So you don't mess around the cap space and because a lot of GMs and a lot of teams, they try to get it now, and then next thing you know, a couple years later, they're screwed.
You know
right?
what I see?
Because they can't get the guy they need to get them over the edge because they paid too much down the road or had to take on too many contracts. So that's why we have to put the trust in Brad Holmes and what we're developing, and it's patience.
Well, Joique, my question to you is, as a guy that...
I want to harp on that real quick about Stephon Gilmore. This guy has started in every game he's ever played except for 2 games, all right? He has 25 interceptions in his career. And when I look at him, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me a little bit of Rasheed Mathis, a seasoned veteran who came to Detroit on a team where we drafted Slay, right? And he molded Slay. He was able to instill in him a lot of things that he learned throughout his time in the NFL. I could see him coming here and being that same mentor to a Jeff Okudah, all right? Dropping that game in that DB room, having a guy there that the players respect. And when I say respect, I'm talking about that body of work. Now, that's what we're lacking. That's what we're missing right now, is that guy they can look at his body of work and say, oh, yeah, give me all your knowledge. I'll be your pupil. I'll be that. I want to take it all in. You know, we don't have that here.
Can I ask you a question, Joique? But that has to come from that type of player wanting to be that and not still wanting to sort of concentrate and play or go for the money or whatever else, right? Yeah. So that player has to say, hey, I'm at the point in my career where I can help this team, and then they want to figure out a win-win.
Yeah.
A lot of guys aren't like that because their career's so short, so they got to get their money.
Because where's your loyalty, right? Where's your loyalty? And right now, depending on who you are as a player, I was willing to take a pay cut to stay here in Detroit. Of course, I have my fine line of where I'm going to drop down to. Right? But I was willing.
That's not a pay cut, a discount. A discount to market.
Has his bottom line.
It's a pay cut.
Yeah. That's the bottom line. I'm back in business,
baby. Was that euphemism where you try to downplay it? Like no, it was a pay cut. It was a pay. I was taking a pay cut.
See, Joique, you can't say it that way because that demeans your value. You got to say I'll take a discount to market. Doesn't that sound better, Art?
Right.
No comment. No comment.
It's kind of like R squared. And so to a certain length. And so when I had my discussion, or I would say my back and forth with the Lions, on my negotiations rather, I decided like, no, that's too far on the market value.
Well, Derek, here's the deal.
All right. And so that's when I walked away. But my loyalty was with, I would not have did a discount with any other team in the NFL. No other team. But I did it here in Detroit because of my love for the city and my loyalty for the city.
That money.
Yeah,
But because that's how we're talking about like Michigan play-by-play job. That's how I would be for Detroit or like Orlando or Miami, Phoenix. Somewhere that I would like to be. Somewhere where I as I get older, that's like to have the weather and all that kind of stuff. The tax discounts
and the tax, all of that plays a major.
All of it plays a part.
And I know guys who left Detroit to go down to states that don't have state tax. Because they don't have they can keep some of their money. They can protect their money, a little bit better. So, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game.
Money.
We do.
We need it.
We do love that money, man. That's Ricky Bobby on there, right?
Yeah.
Steve R says, so today's National Coaches Day. How do you think Urban is being celebrated? LOL. That is pretty
great.
good. I'm seeing some people too on our YouTube chat thread that are saying I would pick up Stephon Gilmore. Chuck Brewer says Gilmore goes to Tampa, and I could certainly
see that.
I could certainly see that, but I'm not interested here because my plan.
Is it Tampa the Lakers now? Are they getting?
That's what I said before, and you said no.
Oh, no. He goes there like they're definitely the Lakers. I mean, people are going, but that's what I'm talking about. Now, his loyalty isn't to Tampa; it's to winning. He's at the point now. Okay, I have my bag. I just want to win right now. I want to get some more rings. I want to secure my legacy. That's what he's doing going down there. And players are taking pay cuts to play in Tampa because of Brady and their opportunity to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's a man. He's made almost $82 million in the league. Yeah, he's got his cake.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the $82 million, so he probably touched about $48 million of that.
You're going to find out motivations, right? You're going to find out championship motivations. Obviously, Gilmore goes to Tampa, or if Smith goes, somewhere that you would expect that. But, again, when a guy's later on in their career, and Smith isn't, but, Gilmore a little bit, right? You don't know what his motivations are. So, it'll be interesting to see, but I don't expect him here, and I don't think we should go at him. It'd be something that he'd want to come for the right price.
And I would say probably to me that the Jalen Smith thing makes a little more sense just in they drafted Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons took that locker room by storm, took that linebacker position by storm. I mean, isn't that funny how guys like Jalen Smith can get expendable real quick when you hit on a rookie and your first-round draft pick is excellent at his position, a lot like Micah Parsons is. And that's where we saw that impact. That changes a team. That changes the fabric of a team. That changes the makeup of a team, and Micah Parsons is on a rookie contract, man.
Well, it is. And
he's slicing it up there for Dallas.
What's that? Slicing it up there for Dallas, and that's where it is today. Yes, you know it. You love it. CoastPortland.com. WSN 20 for 20% off for all you do-it-yourselfers, first responders, or anybody with these great lamps and the headlamps. And I want to thank Coast for all the gift certificates to everybody out there for our promotion. Hashtag How We Coast. Unfortunately, it's over, but you can still go to CoastPortland.com, use WSN20, and get yourself a machete. When you do, tell them Big D Energy sent you. Joique Bell, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Woodward Sports Network will be right back.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Back at it here, Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house here today. We're talking Lions football right now, and yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not doing anything. And you hear me preach about this all the time, and we know, I think, but we don't know until we get the season over with and we get towards the draft. You guys realize, right, as it stands right now, this is the way too early draft projections, but as it stands right now, the Lions have the number 2 overall pick in the draft, which means that they have number 2. The Rams right now currently are in 23rd place in the NFL. They have number 2, they have 23, and they would have 34. 3 of the first 34 picks this year and next year. You see what we're building? Do you see my vision here? And you're going to be clipping out the cap space. Vitais and those contracts like that. You're burning them out one by one. Speaking of which, Jamie Collins, of course, is going back to the Patriots.
Going right back. And he was part of that, he was part of that last regime. I don't want to say their name, but he was part of that last regime with Bob Quinn and those guys. And, and it's funny how the NFL works, right? So you always go out, you get these guys that you're used to, I know who this guy is, and you live and die by those guys. I left the Lions. the first pick they picked up was LeGarrette Blount, who was coming from the Patriots, and that's how it works, right? You're gonna go with the guys that you're used to, the guys you know, and then if somebody stands out to you when they come into a workout or you see them on film, then yeah, you'll take the next steps in. But this doesn't surprise me at all.
You know, though, Joique, let's be real, man. Let's you and I rap real right now. The damage that this, and I'll hold my hand up in the air and say, I bought into the Bob Quinn thing. I did. Hook, line, and sinker, and the Matt Patricia thing, all of it. I looked you right in the eyes. I bought in. I was wrong.
Because we wanted it so bad.
Well, it's a lot of things.
Anybody was smarter than we were, and you know what? We're going to fish hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I'm going to tell you this. It reminds me of sometimes people are more, they're more intrigued with the idea of marriage than finding the right person. And so, you know, sometimes they go, they marry the wrong person.
Well, hope sells, right?
You know, hope is the only thing that's more powerful than fear, right? And so, we're hopeful that he was going to come in and do these things. And sometimes you get in these marriages and you move too quick, and all of a sudden, this is not the right move. And let me get out this marriage. And so we had to get a divorce, right? And now, do we have the right one now? Are we in the right relationship right now with Dan Campbell? Do I think so? Yes, I think we are. I think we're heading in the right direction. The only thing that I want to see, which I said at the beginning of the season, that we don't have the talent yet, we don't have the depth to come in week in, week out and play 4 quarters of good football. Not even good football teams are coming in playing 4 good quarters of football right now. And so for us to be inconsistent when we play like a contender against the Baltimore Ravens and then come back and we play down to the level of our last game and we lose like that to the Bears, I didn't understand it. And that's the part of the culture I want to get changed here in Detroit. Not to play down to our competition, but to get to where we are as a Lions organization and stay there consistently week in, week out through this entire season. And I think if I can see that this year, then I'll be happy.
Here's my real talk question to you, Joique. And you and I have had this discussion, I think, off the air before. And I always come back to this periodically. This whole Bob Quinn and Patricia era of football. Let's set aside the trail of destruction that is the contracts that have been let go of, that continue to be let go of, that are on the books right now. Let's move past that. From the damage that was done organizationally, Joique, and you talk to some of the same people I talk to. And let's just be real about this right now. And I'm not asking for names or anything like that, Joique. Let's just say it like that. You can confirm some of the same things that I heard, that there was damage done to that organization.
Yeah, there was some damage done. If you look at anybody from the roster that was on the team in 2017 is down to one person.
Yeah. Well, I'm even talking about internally to you guys being.
So you talking about?
I'm talking about I'm not talking about roster. I'm talking about the guts and the foundation.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're a long way away from you guys in 2014, where Calvin and you saying we were a couple steps away from a ring, like a Super Bowl ring. Right. I just want to put back out there that we do need to understand that, and part of the 2023 plan is there is like it's a house with termites. It's not visible, but it's there. And Joique, I'm telling you, again, not looking for names, just everyone understand there has been structural damage done to this organization by the past regime.
It was. And it's and I think they're in the right direction of building it back up. And when we talk about the damage they've done, I'm talking about from a cultural standpoint. When people are coming in, they don't want to be at work. People are working on eggshells around the office. People aren't speaking, or the people at the top aren't taking the advice from the guys at the bottom who's putting in all this work. They're having meetings, separate meetings from other people when they should be in those meetings to know the direction of where they're going. It was a lot of things that was going on. So
yeah, and D. Smitty says Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia equally dismantled the Lions organization, starting with firing Jim Caldwell. And for those that know, and Joique, you can speak to this, and D-Mac, I'll get to you in just a second, but you can speak to this, Joique. That man, whether you agree with the play calls or not, whether you agree with what he did as a coach from a move, and I didn't want it to devolve into this, but damn it, Jim Caldwell.
Oh, yeah.
But damn it, we are going there, because this is part of it, man. And this is part of the Lions discussion going forward for a very, very long time. You can say what you want about Caldwell, but you guys in that room, Hall of Famers like Calvin Johnson, they roll with him.
No, we roll with him for real. And so the thing is this, all right? When you look at, I'm going to ask you this question. What was the best team in, say, the last 2 decades? What year?
For the Lions?
For the Lions.
Oh, 2014, no doubt.
2014. All right.
No doubt.
What was some of the worst? No, we're not going to do all that. We'll just stick with that 2014.
Probably the one that went 0-16.
All right. So you have the 2015 season, you have the 2016. Will you compare those rosters? Could those rosters compare to the 2014 Lions?
No.
I'm getting somewhere. All right. And so you have a coach that came in, and people say, "Oh, Carver was a good coach, but he wasn't good enough because he didn't win any playoff games." He took us to the playoffs, but we didn't win any games. So he wasn't good enough, but he was good. He took a team in 1 year with almost the identical roster of a Jim Schwartz. And nothing against Jim Schwartz. I like Schwartz as well. That almost identical roster, take that same, and within 1 year, learn a new offense, new defense, and then take this team and we go 11-5. Can you imagine if he had us that whole 24-month window?
Can you played to win the game.
Right? Can you imagine that? Right? So he took a team that was almost identical and took us from a 7-9 team from 2013 and in 2014, his first year, and we go 11-5. We lose that roster. It's nowhere near in 2015 as far as the roster, as far as talent, the same as 2014. It wasn't the same at all. But took that team, right? Took that team, and then we go 7-9. We go 7-9, and then the following year they go 9-7 and go back to the playoffs. They go back to the playoffs with a lesser team. Now we sit here and we say, "Oh, he wasn't that good. Oh, he wasn't good enough," but he was a great coach. Coach Carr was a great coach. His method, he wasn't an Urban Meyer. He wasn't out doing these things. Everything that Urban Meyer did in the bar, we had that conversation. I
like how that's a verb now.
No, it's a verb. Everything that Urban Meyer did in that video, Coach Carr would talk about. He will be on the clip. He'll be on the clip of high cost of low living. Anything you do late at night, anything dealing with liquor, women, substance, speeding, you're gonna have some type of consequence at the end of that. And right now, Urban Meyer is seeing the consequence of that. And that's one thing we never had to worry about with Jim Caldwell. He had the utmost respect from everyone in the locker room. Everyone loved him. But more than that, everyone respected him. Everyone respected him, and we wanted to win because we wanted him to be successful, not because we wanted ourselves to be successful. We were winning more so for him than for us. Yeah.
Hindsight's great. Let's look back, right? Because what happened, what was the reason? Caldwell coach and Bob Quinn GM. Right, and he knew better than most. And what did they did? That's more the Quinn hiring Patricia. We know better than you. We got the rings. It's like hiding the cupboard. It's like being the parents and you have the pantry door and you're not allowed to go in the pantry. But they got all the toys and whatever else, all the goodies in the pantry, but they're not going to show you because they know better, because they can win. It's sort of like My Way or the Highway that I mentioned yesterday with Mike Babcock, where it's a different perspective. So now, at least they've addressed it, and we got to believe that Brad Holmes isn't a Dan Quinn guy. It's a building guy. That's why things are different. It's more transparent. Before it was, shut up, I know better than you. And then when we look back and go, well, really, out of all the stuff listening to Joique talk, that the big thing that screwed this organization was Bob Quinn being in the bird seat and making that decision not to move it, because that's where everything trickled down, losing Caldwell. Caldwell was the key, and we didn't realize it at the time. So hopefully you learn from your mistakes. We don't do that again, and that's why the transparency and the learning. Again, 4 of 34. This is a blessing in disguise. Get all this out of the way. Let's learn this stuff and move forward. But yeah, it's... Because then it goes back to, oh, man, what if? What if? Now I'm kind of mass.
Well, Patty Grimes on our YouTube chat thread says, I'm sick of Lions fans they're saying there's always next year. Start winning some now. And, Patty, look, there's been no other person that has been more critical or more impatient than me. With the Tigers, I'll be the same way. Like, this is the offseason for the Tigers to put the foundation in place. This is very much 2004, 2005 again with the Tigers, because we're seeing what this core is. Now the ownership has to step up And now the ownership has to get aggressive to start filling in pieces. But with all that being said, with the Lions, to me, Patty, and here's why I have hope, probably more than most, certainly more than I have had in a while. Again, three of the first 34 picks in the draft, 2 years in a row. The fundamentals have changed. The basis of what the organization has changed. And I got no other option for you, Patty. Like, I want them to win too. I got no other option, though. It's going to be 2 years. It is. The state of the organization, the draft capital, how it was used in the past, will still hang over the head of this current regime. The contracts are on the books will still hang on the head of this current regime. And Joique, look, I know as a player, you don't want to hear that, and you don't have time for that because you got to go out there and play, and you got to make your living. And I give, when you're a player in that situation, Joique, and shed some light on this for me, because I've always been curious about it. How can you, because you know they're not getting Stephon Gilmore, they're not getting Jalen Smith. You know that if you're in that locker room. You know what the score is. I mean, you know what the score is in the game, but you know what the score is on the scoreboard of the franchise.
You know, it's funny.
Help's not coming, man.
Listen, we don't look at that. We don't worry about that. At least as a player, I never worried about who we need to go out to go get because I'm always focusing on my craft. What do I need to do to be better?
But deep down, you know, though, Joique, don't you? No, deep down, you know the state of the organization and the state of the roster. You do, Joique. Come on.
That was 2012. You know what I'm saying? I played in that type of roster. But then again, like I told you, I don't worry about those things.
No, I'm not saying you do worry about it. I'm saying, though, you are aware.
Yeah, I'm aware. Like, when we were 2012, we went 4-12. Now, do we have a bad team? I wouldn't say we had a bad team. We had an undisciplined team, and we had a lot of games that we lost by a touchdown or less.
The things where discipline really takes center stage.
Like 6 or 7 games, we might have lost by 7 points or less. We didn't have a bad roster. We didn't have bad players. It's just like, it was just different coaching. Different coaching. Suck. All right. And when I say different coaching, usually the best player on the team usually takes over the mindset of the head coach. And Coach Schwartz was spicy out there. That's probably and that's the thing though. That was kind of our identity with Sue, and we loved that as a defensive standpoint. And when Sue left, that identity left with him. When we had Brandon Copeland on a few months back, he kind of talked about, he said, I'm just going to up and say in 2015 when we didn't have Sue, we lost our identity, And so just moving forward with this organization, as a player, focus on your job. Don't focus on who we need to get in here. We know the state of the team. I'm part of the team. So what can I do to work on my craft? So regardless of whatever state we're in, I have to do better at my job to make sure I'm doing the best I can to get us out of the state. All right, and that's why I never really thought about it. I just came to work every day.
On our YouTube chat thread, Dave Schultz says, I love listening to Pissed Off Neal. Well, let me tell you something that won't piss you off. Lunch at Papa Romano's Pizza. That's right. They got a new pizza that's pleased to meet you. It's the Pizza Pizza. Pepperoni, ham, Italian sausage, ground beef, bacon, topped with a blend of fresh cheeses. That sounds like a winner to me, guys. The large Pizza Pizza is $16.99. If you're not feeling the Pizza Pizza today, that's cool. They got you. Get yourself a salad. Caesar salad's always a strong play. Get the pitas, however you want to do it. Whatever you're doing. It's lunchtime, folks. Get it in. Go to paparomanos.com. Be a hero. Order it for the whole squad. paparomanos.com.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Back at it here, pushing towards that noon hour. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name's Neal Ruhl. That guy's Joique Bell. This guy's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. Fish is in the building. Art is in the building. Stick is even here as well. And we'll be in the building for the best high school football matchups in Metro Detroit. The Woodward Sports Friday Night Clash is here. It'll go down at 9 o'clock on the Woodward Sports Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Looking forward to this one this week, as they'll highlight all the high schools and student sections and all that. They bring you the flavor. Like, that's what I like about the high school football coverage at Woodward. But it's not just the game, it's the flavor at the stadiums, and that's what makes it great. But a big-time matchup this week, Romeo and Sterling Heights Stevenson. We're repping the east side a lot, Joique. That's what I'm saying.
We got to get over to the west side, man. There's some good football over there now. There's some good football over there.
The east side's holding it down, bro.
Hey, come over to the west side.
You know?
Let's come over to the west side.
You know.
Playoffs coming around.
No, you know, Joique. You know where it goes. The east side, man. We riding.
No, west side. Okay,
we're getting into some Tupac and Biggie stuff right now, you know. But again, Woodward Sports, that is where it's at. Don't forget about the halftime kick to win $10,000. Make sure you follow at Woodward Sports. Get out there to the game and get all the details on how you can get involved for that. But looking forward to it. Stevenson and Romeo getting it on. But, we've been talking some NFL football, certainly this whole Lions situation. And ride with me here, guys, because I'm going to do this from time to time. I'm going to get on that tangent because it still hurts, Joique. It hurts. And I'll always go back to that 2014 team. That 2014 team is like the 91 team for me.
It is?
It is, for real. No, because, again...
I would say this. After the game, this is pretty... I felt pretty bad after the game, and I kind of read this tweet from Barry Sanders. He said, "Look, the Lions got their run game going in the first quarter." I said, "Look at that, man! My idol is talking about
the greatest ever."
Yeah, the GOAT.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
He was all right. No,
I won't even agree. The fact, the truth, not what we think.
I think he's on this screen behind us. I think, the GOAT right there. There he is.
I like how we got Scott Mitchell on there, too. I don't know if people can see it. Right there on the side. You see him right there. Mm-hmm. Scott Mitchell on there, too. He got screwed out of a Pro Bowl berth in 1995.
You got B?
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. No, it is. It's a pretty strong mural we got going back there, though. I do like it. But, obviously we'll get into the Lions more as the week goes on, but did want to change... I did want to change the gears up a little bit. We do have to get into this, the college discussion. Michigan is at Nebraska, a night game. And, guys, I got a revelation for you here, D-Mac. Michigan is going to put it on Nebraska this weekend.
Ooh. You know what? It's a confidence thing. And I think that I don't care what it is, but the way that they went in and they took care of business, and from day one they punched Wisconsin, and it's not the same Wisconsin, but I don't care going to Wisconsin and doing what they did. And they
both things can be true.
What's that?
Both things can be true.
Both things can be true, but I agree with you. I think that they're starting to feel it, and it's that confidence by just seeing him play, because I don't hear him talk that much. Now, rumor is that obviously losing more receivers doesn't help, but to me, the running game is the backbone for this team. So I look for them. Neal, I agree. I think that they're continuous statement, because when I look at my sheet and see Michigan at number 9, doesn't bother me. I mean, might be a little bit high, right, for anybody, but no, they've done what they've done to be able to get the voters to put them in that spot. So again, they want to stay there and move up. They got to take care of business. So it's another day.
Yeah, and I knew that was coming too. Like, as far as the number 9 ranking, I called this 3 weeks ago. Like, I told you guys how this was going to break down. By the time it got to be in a night game, they were going to be in the top 10. That's just the way. That's weird how that stuff always goes down like that, but that's the way it goes. I've been around long enough. Yeah. I know how it works. But Joique, Michigan does suffer another blow at the wide receiver position, another injury. But I mean, as far as this Michigan team, I mean, draw the line in the sand for me, Joique, because, Roman Wilson's going to be out for an extended stay. Certainly that they've had injuries at that wide receiver position. But draw the line. Is this team a threat to win the Big Ten?
Are they a threat? No. I'm being honest.
Oh.
They're going to win the Big Ten.
Has anybody
but I don't, and honestly, I don't ever do that. What I do is I do one week at a time, one game at a time. That's kind of what I do.
Getting ready.
I got a question though.
But Ohio State is playing at a high level right now. You still got Penn State playing well. You got Iowa playing well. I mean, it's a long season.
No, it is game to game. But here's the thing: Cincinnati's the only undefeated team, right? in college football. A little bit different. 5 weeks into the season or so, isn't it?
Well, you guys, and look, we'll get into that as it goes on.
Michigan to the nut. Like when you look at that, there's teams. Like everybody's got a loss, but Cincinnati and the Alabamas or the Ohio States or whatever. Like it's a little bit different playing field. Doesn't it feel different, college football, just a little bit than the past?
No, it does. But Joique, so what you're saying is we'll put some eggs on that they'll win the Big Ten.
I just understand this.
So we'll put some eggs on it.
We put some eggs on it. I just know the game. This is a game.
Put some eggs on that.
Listen. This is the game.
Can we get that clipped here today at 12:03?
The game that's going to decipher for me is how they handle themselves when they go into this MSU game, and they should be 7-0 going to this game. MSU should be 7-0 going to that game. That's the game that I want to see. And when we see that game, we see how they play. That's going to be the deciding factor on my true feelings on how they're going to do in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but again, talking about the polls and all that kind of stuff, I'm just telling you guys to prepare for this. Cincinnati's not going to get in.
No, listen, we've got to make this official, though, Neal. So make the bet. So, Neal, as you were saying, what is the bet in regards to so we can get this clip and make it official?
Make it a matter of public record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michigan football
Big D
will not.
Energy exclusive right here, right now. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell. It's a bet. Neal, over to you.
Well, see, Darren, thanks for throwing it over to me. We're here with a situation right now in Birmingham where Joique Bell has laid down the edict that Michigan will, in fact, win the Big Ten. However, I say to the tune of 4 scrambled eggs with cheese, and I'll probably only eat 2 of them, but I'll make, but whatever, maybe 3. Maybe I'll turn up that day. But Joique Bell has laid it down. He is willing to wager 4 eggs scrambled with cheese that Michigan will win the Big Ten. I, Neal Ruhl, being of sound mind and body, accept that.
No.
Here we go.
They're going to win it, but I do week to week. So we can.
No. You roll it back.
Roll it back. You said. Yeah, you can't go back on it.
He knows. Because he doesn't believe what he's saying.
Okay, so as it stands right now, I need a yes or no answer. As it stands right now.
Are they going to win a Big Ten? No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do.
Oh, but you did it a few minutes ago.
No, I was doing week to week. I put 4 eggs week to week. Like this week, I'll put 4 eggs.
It's okay, Neal.
You can't change your bet. Go to the casino and do that. Hey, I want to take it back this week.
You can't change the bet once you confirm it. I didn't confirm it.
You're so going back. Neal literally asked you.
And he said yes.
Neal literally said, Joique, do you think they're going to win the Big Ten? And Joique, you said yes.
And then I said, put some eggs on it. And he said yes.
That's not how that went. How it went
was...
okay. Run it back.
So let's run it back. This is what happened. Neal asked me.
Hey, good
are they
try for that
he said, are they a threat? He said, are they a threat? He said, are they a threat to win the Big Ten?
I would have just said yes. Whatever.
Threat. He said, is the Michigan football going to be a threat to win the Big Ten?
You are spinning around the block right now.
I would simplify.
I said, no, they're not going to be a threat. They're going to win it. Yeah. He said, I said, but I usually don't do that. I do week to week.
Oh, my
God. I said that. We can run it back. Yeah. That's what I said.
Mr. Neal, I take it back, Mr. Neal.
I said, yes, we can put eggs on it. I was talking about for this weekend because I do week to week. I said that, prior to. So we got 4 eggs on this week?
That's what...
No, this week.
You're talking about just this game this week.
This game this week.
Against Nebraska.
No,
I think Neal would be a fool to take the egg
Why
back.
is that? Yeah. They've been playing well. The teams they lost to are ranked teams.
It's Nebraska.
Oh, like Illinois?
That's the only team. That's the only team.
Well, there's only been 4 games.
Huh?
It's Nebraska. Why are we even talking about it? Come on.
Cool.
Okay. Well, only one loss against Illinois.
They lost to MS. Let's go.
No wonder you're such a great running back. That was some good back.
And listen, everybody in the chat's calling you out.
He was real elusive.
It might have only been an 11-yard run, but seriously, 33 yards on the back.
Let's look at it.
Fellow Michigan fan Chuck Brewer says, sorry, Bell, you said yes to win the Big Ten.
Joique, response?
Listen, no.
No.
He's not watching the show. You need to rewind it back, then come back live.
We're literally going to grab the clip, Joique.
And we're going to grab the clip. So let me see. But when you grab the clip, you cut things out. You know what you're doing.
Okay, Easy will be grabbing the clip today.
All right, cool. So let's look at the games they've lost, right? They just won last week against Northwestern. They won 7-56. That's pretty impressive. Was that pretty impressive to you?
No, I was told when Michigan State beat them that it wasn't impressive.
Who told you that?
All the Michigan fans told me that. And I'm not a Michigan. I got to qualify it every single time. I'm not a Michigan fan.
If Michigan doesn't, who do you?
No, they lost. They lost to MSU. They lost to MSU in overtime by 3.
All
right.
He won't answer.
Right.
He's not going to answer.
They lost to Oklahoma by a touchdown.
Joique, answer D-Mac's question. Joique, answer.
And they lost to Illinois by 8 points.
Answer D-Mac's question.
I was answering.
Yeah, listen. D-Mac wants to know.
Did you raise your hand?
Don't they have a big
win?
win?
Did you raise your hand?
This is what we were talking about before the show. It makes sense why it was said before the show about the respect thing.
All right, raise your hand before you.
Yes, you didn't bring up that big win they had over Furman too.
I didn't bring that up.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
I never heard of them. I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to give you more fuel. I didn't want to give you more fuel. You know, I didn't want to give you more fuel.
No, that's a big win.
Huh?
I mean, you know what, Neal? Really.
Now
he
Buffalo.
Won eggs
now
off,
Buffalo. I would say that
not to reciprocate. You know, it's sort of like the bet. You already got, and he's sort of like trying to. He should have just said, "Yeah, Neal, since you bought me, but this time, can you make them warm?"
I had him here at 10:20. I had.
No, I didn't say 10:20. I said have him here at 10:50. Is what I said.
Yeah, because that's when you show up.
Well, let's recap.
I'm just saying, Joique should have just reciprocated, even though if he doesn't believe it.
Well, let's recap real quickly. We have eggs on the Browns Lions yesterday. We confirmed that.
Joique confirmed.
What?
Yep.
Oh my
Browns
gosh,
Lions.
He doesn't listen.
The Browns Lions.
Yeah,
we got eggs on that.
Yeah, all right. We got that, and now we have them on Michigan winning the Big Ten.
No, we have it on Michigan winning.
We'll check the. How about we'll check the tape and we'll tweet it out later. So make sure you follow the show.
You have to admit that you were wrong.
No, I wasn't. I was saying that.
I
literally came out. So real quick, I'm gonna ask Art this. So Art, did I not say? Did I not say that I do not do that? I do it week by week. I didn't say that.
You didn't. You said that after you agreed to the bet.
No, I didn't. I said that before.
Guys, okay.
So you sure? So I said that. So I said that after. Hold up. So hold up. So if you go back and watch the film, all right. If you go back and watch the film, if I said that first, then said yes, then what?
Welcome to my life, folks. Welcome to my life.
Exactly. He don't answer my question.
No, you said it after the fact.
So you sure?
You said it after. Yes.
I said after.
You said you switched the bet after. Yes, you did.
No. I said I do week by week after.
You said yes to win the Big Ten?
No, Art, answer the question, Art.
D-Mac's even saying it right now. You said yes to win the Big Ten. What are you talking about?
How about this? Hey, guys, I got you.
My question,
all right, Joique.
Hold on.
All right, Joique, here we go, man.
Okay, last time. Go ahead. And what's your question?
My question is, did I say I do it week by week before or after I said yes?
After.
Okay.
You said it after.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So when we bring it back up.
Right.
If I say yeah.
So you're good for saying this week. That's what's crazy. You're such a Michigan fan, but you can't admit it now.
Officially bet anything.
I said they'll win the Big Ten.
Listen, Joique, you love Michigan so much, but you can't admit it now that they're not going to be in the Big Ten.
All right, Ruhl. This is number one rule of broadcasting.
Michigan can win the Big Ten with this squad. That's a fair statement, and ain't no smoke.
So then take it. Just take the bet, Joique.
Michigan win the Big Ten. I think you should go with it, Joique.
Just go with it. You can't go back on what you said.
No, well, let's watch the film.
That's not what a man does. Are you a man?
So in other words, Joique, you don't believe what you're saying. That's what you're telling me. You're going to say it on this microphone, but you don't truly believe it. You're just saying it for effect because you won't put eggs on it.
I'm hopeful.
You're hopeful. Yeah. You don't. So you're not. You don't really believe that.
Yeah. Listen, I was hopeful for the Lions, and I'm an idiot getting a tattoo now. Get in line.
Hey, you made the bet. And
you did too. So pay up the eggs this Monday.
No, I didn't.
How dare you?
Well, this Monday, yes. This Monday.
I know.
Exactly.
I played into your game.
Yeah. This Monday.
No, Michigan's going to cook Nebraska this week. We'll talk about it more. We're going to talk some more college football when we come back. It's Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Back at here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name's Neal Ruhl. He's Joique Bell. D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house as well. We got Fish, Art, the child of the Flint Streets, Arturo. It's in the building as well. Happy to have you along for the ride. And there's a lot of controversy here right now on Big D Energy, and we got the department, the research department. They're looking into it right now. I would say this: follow the show on Twitter at Big DWSN. We're going to tweet out. We'll tweet out the said controversial clip, and we've had people on our YouTube chat thread say, we've said it on both sides, actually. So essentially what we have to do is we just have to go back and check the tape. Check the report, as your coach used to say.
Yeah.
We'll check the report.
Check the report. What are they saying? What's the dilemma here?
That you took the bet.
I took the bet on
the Michigan winning the Big Ten.
No, it was.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Braylon Edwards is in the house from the bottom line. Did you hear it? Did you hear it, Braylon?
I always got to side with my boy Drake, man.
Man. Thank you.
I've always side with the players.
Always side with the players.
Braylon. And the bottom line will be on from 2 to 4 here today with yourself, Ryan Armani, and Tom Mazaway. You'll have to console Tom with his Yankees losing, but that's your guys' problem, not ours. But Braylon, what about it? Did you hear it, number one? And number two, will Michigan win the Big Ten this year?
I heard whatever Joique said. I stand on that.
I heard whatever Joique said.
But that's what we do, though. Whatever D-Mac says, I heard that. Whatever I said, D-Mac heard that. Joique heard that. In terms of Michigan and the Big Ten, it's shaping up well for them to do so. But before we get that far, we got to actually worry about what's going on this week. And that's Iowa and Penn State, because those are the best two teams out of both sides.
Yeah, and Braylon, I'll tell you this, because you're a college football guy, obviously.
Oh,
Cincinnati is getting lined up. It's lining up perfectly to exclude Cincinnati from this. And I need to know from a Michigan guy, Cincinnati's legit, right?
Cincinnati's legit. And I talked to Brady Quinn last week about it, and he was scared of Ritter, and rightfully so. You saw what happened. I think Cincinnati gets in this year. I think it's setting up to be an all-inclusion, and not just in college football. We're just living in that era right now in life. It's all inclusion. It's inclusion. Nobody wants to be excluded, and I think they're going to go undefeated. They have nobody else that they have to play this year. This is the year to be undefeated and not be an Oklahoma and not be a Georgia and be in a smaller Power 5 school, Cincinnati. This is the year to do so, and I think if they go undefeated, they get in.
Well, the rankings right now and the way that they've been set up with Iowa at 3 and Penn State at 4 and Ohio State at 7, the Big Ten's covered because whoever wins is going to go. That's just the way it's set up.
We had like a Big Ten school, and they did that on purpose, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, they did. 100% they did. Because they're getting their cut of that money.
Yeah.
And come hell or high water, they're going to find a way to not share that cake with Cincinnati.
I think
they're going to try.
That's the other thing, too. They're not only just protecting the Big Ten, they're protecting their own buttholes because if, like, Penn State, Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan, if they falter, like if they get to that point where we get one undefeated, or hell, if we just get a team with one loss, they're setting it up to be able to let Cincinnati in there.
Team with one loss is going to have lost to a top 10 team.
100%.
It doesn't even matter who it is.
Yeah, 100%.
My question to you, Bray, is as a former Michigan player, being in that locker room, being in that state, whatever like this, what I love right now and why it's different to me is because it's quiet out of Michigan. You know, you don't hear them talk. Do you like that? Does that to me, that's why it's different. And then obviously the play on the field, the engagement, you know, the way that they're playing. If you don't like your coach, you're not playing that hard for them. So do you think that that's a positive, one of the big positives coming out of Michigan?
D-Mac, you took the words out of my mouth. I remember talking about it earlier in the year. Like, you haven't heard about anything from Jim Harbaugh in the offseason. You didn't hear about anything he was doing, none of the kooky things, the crazy things. You didn't hear about, Migos coming to Michigan for his signing day, or you didn't hear about Lou Holtz coming up there, and you didn't hear about him going off where he's throwing the opening pitch here, he's doing this, or he's taking the team to Rome or South Africa. Obviously, COVID had a lot to do with that. But he's not doing that, which means he's focusing on football. He's bringing in younger coaches. He's changing the dynamic. He's humbling himself and realizing, you know what, I was stubborn in my ways early. Now I got to figure out how to win, and he's learning how to win. I love that out of Michigan, man, and they're just having fun. Yeah. You see Harbaugh smiling, and my dad said yesterday on our show, I don't know if I've ever seen Harbaugh smile like that. Like, I've seen those weird grins. I played for him with the 49ers. I saw that weird stuff. But I've never seen him smile genuinely, man. He's genuinely smiling. The players are having fun. I've never seen anybody take over Madison like Michigan did.
Well, so real quick. So looking at everything that you see a lot, right? Yeah. As players, you see a lot. Now, have you spoke with any players? Have you seen anything with the players that you haven't seen within the past couple of years and why they're winning now?
The players are allowed to have fun. Like, players that have fun for a long time, the players have been doing things to have fun. You look at them, the wide receivers, I can't think of them now, J.U. Cheston and Amari Darbo, they had fun. Jabril Peppers had fun. But it's happening at a different clip right now. Like, you see Harbaugh enjoying in the fun on that. You see the coaches getting in on the fun on that. They're also going to the players to ask them, hey, what do you see out there? You can see it on the sideline. They're talking to these players, and the players that have input on the players that are coming in. They have input on the things they want to do. That's never been Harbaugh's deal. Will let the players have some input, whether it was the NFL or college. You see players having input on plays, defenses, blitz, catches, throws, runs and passes.
So basically,
RPOs.
So what you're saying now, that the team is taking on the responsibility of being able to go back to the coach. This is what I see on the field, right? Do you think that plays a major part in them buying into what he's selling now? So what's different from this year that you didn't see last year or the year before, aside from that?
Yeah, it's
Do you
not
think it's
working.
something within the locker room?
No, I think it was also within the coaches. I think one of the biggest things that you're seeing in the success of Harbaugh now is you got rid of all those egos. There's no more Drevno. There's no Madison. There's no more Don Brown. There's no Pep Hamilton. There's no more egos. There's no McElwain. There's no McElwain. There's no egos. They're guys that just want to win and they're getting it together. Now you're starting to see them play defense a certain way. Like they're finishing 8 people on a tackle. Like you play football, Joique. Like you know how it is to see 8 people on a tackle. It's major. That means everybody wants to get in on that. You're seeing people finish blocks down the field. Receivers aren't just trying to catch passes. They're running good routes so the other guys can get open. They're blocking in the run game. And in the run game, man, those two backs, Corum and Haskell, are as good as it gets, and they're understanding that offensive line is dominant. You're just seeing a team that loves to be that, a team.
So I have 2 things. Yeah. What I saw especially, and I wasn't sure, and I wanted to get your thought of it, because second half of last game, they put J.J. McCarthy in to start, and coming out of the tunnel, they were showing Cade McNamara, and it was like he was pissed off, but not pissed off like whining, but just like he wanted to compete, like guys that want to compete. There's a difference between guys tucking their tails and whining, oh, woe is me. No, it's just like, okay, pushing each other. And it was because McCarthy started I believe, but they're pushing each other in that way. So, Art, I'll do 12-21. I mean, Braylon Edwards, as always. I'm going to say, Neal, I will take that eggs bet. Michigan wins the Big Ten. You got it right here, Joique. I got you, bro. And so don't worry about it. I like it because I think that it starts with attitude, and you know it. So
yeah, at the end of the day, if you guys were beating the Avalanche in the 90s, if you guys were winning by 10, 5 minutes up in the third period, you want to come out because you want to keep beating the you-know-what out of them. And that's what you're seeing out of Cade McNamara. Cade wants to continue to put the foot on the pedal and put the gas down. But the other thing about it is you got to be experienced, you got to be protected. Harbaugh's doing a good job of getting JJ some reps, give him some in-game reps because you never know what can happen. And also, Nick Saban kind of set the tone as it relates to that. Look what Nick Saban did at the second half of that Georgia and Alabama national championship game. Nick Saban said, hey, you know what? Jalen, you're not getting it done. I got to go with Tua. Tua comes out and wins the game. You got to have that in your sleeve. You got to have it up your sleeve, And I think that's what you're seeing.
Well, Braylon, you got to have the balls to do that. Yeah. Because think about that. It's all on the line, man. The national title's hanging in the balance. And he went to the backup quarterback. Think about that now. Over the dude that's in the NFL right now and playing well.
We had 300-plus yards last week and the week before.
He put Jalen Hurts on the bench, bro, and went to Tua and won a national title. Like, think about that.
You play to win the game.
Much Tua early in the season that when they got those blowouts, Jalen Hurts was up. You don't want to get Jalen hurt. You want to get that experience. So Tua was out to see a lot of field time during the season. So when he was able to go make that call, that wasn't just out of nowhere. That was seeing him in practice, seeing him in training camp, remembering who he was when he picked him as a 5-star player out of Hawaii, knowing what he could do, and Jalen, and knowing what I want to do. At the end of the day, it's bigger than Nick Saban. It was bigger than Alabama. It was bigger than Jalen Hurts feeling. It was about the potential to put your organization in a chance to win a national championship, and that's what Harbaugh is doing with J.J. McCarthy. He's getting them experience, and it's good experience.
Yeah, Braylon, appreciate you stopping by. The bottom line on today, 2-4, yourself, Ryan.
What's the background at?
That's pretty hype, huh?
Yeah,
that's dope. I love this.
You see, they got you on there too. You see,
it's Detroit royalty. Where I see Minnesota. Right there. Oh, okay, on the corner. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not see that. I see Tom up there. See Bo.
Is D-Mac on there?
Here we go. I see C Wood in the right corner.
Yeah, C Wood is. C Wood's in the right corner.
I love it.
They got to get Sergey on there.
Sergey
Fedorov should be on there.
Yes.
Where's
Right
Joy?
above Stevie.
Oh, there he's in the middle.
I really would have had my Wayne State.
You're
They
complaining
had me
about
for
Sergey
Wayne
and
State. They said had me on it for
Stock
Wayne
staring
State.
at
But
you.
he
Look
didn't.
at him.
Wayne
He's
State,
giving you the
Detroit,
he's giving you the
Detroit
Sergey
Lions.
eyes.
I know.
Look at the Sergey eyes.
And they're
You can't look
beautiful.
into those
I wasn't
eyes.
a part of
Don't
making
look
that
into the
back
eyes,
there.
Neal. Don't look
Hey,
into
man.
Sergey's eyes.
I don't want to cause a ruckus, but I'm saying you got my boy up there, Wayne State, his Detroit Lions, his Big D energy. He needs to be up there somewhere.
You know.
I see some open space around Joe Louis and Ben Wallace and Gordie Howe. So,
So there we go. Yeah, but Braylon, appreciate it. 2-4 today. Yourself, the bottom line with Ryan Armani, Tom Mazaway. Heel Tom today. All right, heel him. His Yankees lost. Take care of him.
I'll take care of him. I actually watched the game, and if you watch the season, and I'll give this hot take now. If you watch the season, the game was exactly a mirror of what the season was.
1,000,000%.
And that was this. They were depending on their pitching. Meanwhile, they have the makings of the best offense in the league, but they were nowhere to be found all season until the end, and they were nowhere to be found yesterday.
Yep.
Giancarlo Stanton, oh my God.
That's my guy.
He's a bomb hitter, baby.
He is. He'll strike out 200
Any
times.
other stadium, Yankees would have won that game last night.
Yeah, because their bullpen still would have pitched at some point.
But
So
he would have had 2 home runs, and one of them.
Anybody
want
want to talk about former Tiger Phil Nevins waving
that
around? Was a big play in the game.
That
man.
whole
One
play
goal
was
where,
bad.
with one out, waving a guy around third and bringing the go-ahead run to the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the little things. He's done that before too. So.
Giancarlo Stanton, both his at-bats caused controversy because one, he didn't run on the one he thought was a home run. It ended up being a single. And then on the second one, he didn't run as well. And then they Neville waved Aaron Judge home. I mean, Aaron Judge is fast, but he's not Tyreek Hill fast.
No doubt about it.
The cheetah.
We'll be listening. We'll be watching. Braylon, appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you guys. Always a
good looking out. Braylon Edwards, everybody. 2-4. The bottom line. There's a bottom line in the haircut business, too.
Thank you for I need another air horn to celebrate Lady Jane's. It's great that we have the technology to where I could be like, air horn me. No, air horn me. Come on. Jeez, we'll get better. Anyway, Lady Jane's, if you're looking to get your haircut, there's no better place to go. We're a simple bunch. We like Sunday football. We like the feel of a TV remote in the palm of our hand. And we like a good haircut. Walk in, sit down before you know your hair is game ready. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is, of course, wicked awesome. We got more Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
It's on and popping here, Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house. Joique Bell with me as always. Appreciate Braylon Edwards stopping by again. The bottom line, 2-4 right here on the Woodward Sports Network. I like Braylon. Braylon and D-Mac, look, you and I, we always talk about it, and you guys know that you and I worked together in a past radio life at the ESPN affiliate here in Detroit when it was around, and I did some shows with Braylon Edwards, and I'll give Braylon a lot of credit, man. Like, he's a dude that played for the program, obviously has the bloodlines with the program, and all that stuff, but he keeps it real.
He calls it like he sees it, and
does.
he keeps it real, and that's why asking him that question, and we've talked about it before, is I get excited for different programs. It's the same thing, I guess it would be with me with the Wings. When I get this vibe and this feeling when they're starting to come back, like 2023 or what we have with the Red Wings now, he's always been straight up, right? So when he gets excited, that's something to be excited about, and then that's why you put eggs bet on it.
Yeah,
I've seen Joique win.
You know what it was?
So let's go.
That's the question I wanted
bro.
to ask them. I really wanted to ask them that question. Do you think Michigan has what it takes to win the Big Ten? That's the question I wanted to ask them, but we had to take the break. We'll bring it back in because that's.
Didn't I say, are they going to win the Big Ten?
No, but the great thing about Braylon being a part of the network, you could bring it back in, and I want that answer, so I'll go grab it.
Go grab because I want that answer.
Yeah.
So would you put eggs on that with him?
I will put eggs on with anybody that thinks that Michigan's going to win the Big Ten. Like I don't know. Has anybody watched Ohio State lately?
Yeah,
I watched it. No,
see, Joy.
They're rolling.
Joique all of a sudden.
They're rolling.
Joique all of a sudden, the voice gets really low and he looks away and everything.
Because you have to respect it. You have to respect it.
And I'll give you that.
You have to respect it. I understand.
Give you props for that.
And they are rolling right now. And after that Maryland game, we kind of talked, and I said,
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got Braylon back right now. So go ahead, ask your question.
He ran back in here, so
I had a
somebody
question.
said something.
So this is a question that I wanted to ask you, but we had to go to break real quick.
Okay.
All right, so before you head out of here for good, now we had a conversation. It was some discrepancy on the bet. So we had a wager on, does Michigan have what it takes to win the Big Ten? Do they?
So there's two different questions. Is Michigan going to win the Big Ten?
Are they going to win?
Or do they have what
No,
it takes?
that boils down to one question. Are they going to win the Big Ten?
Because if you ask me, do they have what it takes?
No. That's not what we asked. Are they going to win?
Oh, okay. So you guys are getting the hard answer.
Hard, yeah.
No, that's why I took yes.
So
to take you guys out of it, because you guys got too much invested. So
They
I'll
are
just
gonna win
sit
the Big
back
Ten.
and just say, hey, all right, I'll say yes.
Say that again, Braylon.
Talk your talk.
Michigan's going to win the Big Ten because whenever they beat up Michigan State, it's always on the road. Guess where they play Michigan State this year? It's on the road. Ohio State's defense is terrible. This is the worst I've seen Ohio State's defense in a very, very long time. Maybe ever. Their Ohio State defense is terrible. Very terrible. And when you have a terrible defense, but you have a lot of weapons on offense, but you have a young quarterback, it's only a couple plays before that young quarterback shows you that he's a young quarterback. The real test and the one that scares me is, it's Happy Valley. I think Happy Valley is a game that scares me, Penn State and Michigan. But I'm going to stick to my guns. Michigan wins the Big Ten. And this is going to be one of those things. Think of it this way. In 1997, they had Michigan to be number 6 in the Big Ten. They said they didn't think anything of them in Lloyd's year. They didn't think anything of Charles Woodson, nothing of that defense. Damn sure didn't think anything of Brian Greasy. What happened there? They went undefeated. Same thing this year. Is one of
No, it's not the same thing, Braylon. There's no Charles Woodson on this team. There's no mercurial talent like that.
It's the same thing in terms of no one had this team doing anything. No one had that team doing anything with Charles Woodson. So we know him as Charles Woodson now and Bubba Chuck, but at that time they just, he's okay. But then he made himself that year, so I'm still sticking with Michigan, yeah.
I just think people are really sleeping on Ohio State, and they are putting it together. Can we agree they're putting it together?
No one's sleeping on Ohio State.
Yeah, who's sleeping on them? Who's sleeping on them?
They're giving you this. Ohio State has the same thing they always have on the offensive side.
Yeah.
They have studs. And that's the problem. Can people score with Ohio State? It remains to be seen. But that defense is terrible. Secondary has been bad for 2 years in a row. The defensive line struggled last year, but they still could put it together. They've had injuries on that defensive line, and now they can. And they don't have linebackers.
But Braylon, here's the thing with it. It's more than that. It's deeper than that. Yeah. And I've had this conversation with Darren before. He's talked about it with the Colorado Avalanche. That weighs on and I know it's college and it's different players, and they weren't some of them weren't even alive in the year 2000. Michigan's beat them 3 times since the turn of the millennium.
So who do you have?
But it's a factor. You got to agree that it's a factor.
Now,
D-Mac,
was
the Avalanche thing a factor for you?
It's a factor.
Here's the thing. It only is as much as it's made, right? Because this is the difference. Why? I've had
what's
a pretty
the talk?
good.
And I know you say you don't listen to it.
Right, but the fact of with everything into place, like it's going to be a test. But to what Braylon said, they will be prepared, and I think it benefits them playing in Michigan State. To your fact that they beat them in that building, that they can go to the history that they beat them sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of these things that. It helps them where you want it to be on the road. I think it helps them to play in Happy Valley too. These are like the one thing is to play on the road, and that's because they went into Wisconsin and they did what they needed to do in a hostile atmosphere, and they hadn't been able to do that before. So that means I think that they're on the precipice.
Here's another thing. Take this. You know how they were able to do what they were able to do in Wisconsin, besides the fact that Wisconsin is just an average team this year with a very good run defense, but a very average team this year? That's because none of those guys were on that team when they sucked. Except Aiden Hutchinson. None of those guys were playing key minutes 3 years ago, 2 years ago. None of these guys know about losing. None of these guys knows about the failure that Michigan's been going through with Jim Harbaugh year after year after year. They weren't, you know what I'm saying? So last year was a wash for them. This is a brand new team doing brand new things. They're not looking at it from experienced players that doubt can creep into their mind because they've been there before. Like, oh, well, we lost to Wisconsin this year. Oh, well, we lost to Ohio State. When you don't have that experience of losing, then doubt can't creep into your mind. All you know is we're 5-0. We're a lot better than a lot of people that thought we were. And you know what? The hell with everybody else. That's what I'm saying. That's how they beat Wisconsin, because they're a different ball club.
And it helps, too, when you're playing a Wisconsin team that's averaging like 13 points a game against non-MAC teams, and you catch a break where a punt goes off a guy's foot, and you punch it in. No, I respect that.
That's a game.
That is a game. But that did happen. That did happen.
It don't
Name
matter.
a national championship team that hasn't called a break.
Everyone gets lucky.
Everyone catches a break.
I mean, the Red Wings teams got. I know they won 4 cups. There was a moment during a time in the playoffs where they got lucky every single year. Like, it happens. You have to have it.
Breaks,
I understand that.
But do you capitalize?
I understand that.
At this particular moment, Michigan is capitalizing enough for me, and I've seen enough to think that they can win the Big Ten. I got them winning.
Right, and I talked about it too, and I was honest about this, Braylon. When Joique asked me about it, when they set up the Washington game, 6-7 years ago, whenever they set that up, that was a time when Washington was a college football playoff team. They were a factor. They can't control that this was a Washington team that would lose to Montana at home. They can't control that. They won the game.
Washington
they did what they had to do.
Two Heisman Trophy winning competitors 3 years ago.
Right, absolutely.
Myles Gaskin and the quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did the job. Yeah. They won the game, which credit to them. They can't control that. When they set up the game, Washington was a national power.
Yeah.
They are getting some breaks in terms of the schedule, no doubt. But we're going to see. I mean, the Happy Valley game, the Ohio State game, the Michigan State game, the test.
Those are the 3 tests.
My point is, and this will be, I think this weekend will be a test. Certainly not on that level, but you're at Nebraska. It's a night game. Nebraska certainly is a relic in college football. And I'm a Miami guy. Miami's a relic too, and those days ain't coming back. They ain't coming back for Miami. They ain't coming back for Nebraska. But that'll be a nice win. I'll put that on par with the Wisconsin win if they get it. It'll be a nice win.
I agree with you 100% because you get this huge win. It's a huge emotional win. It's emotional draining. The country is showing you jumping around. You're taking over their home field. Everybody's excited about Michigan. They went from 1% chance of getting the college playoff. I think today they're 34% chance of getting to the college playoff. So all that can creep into your head. Then you go into a place. It's tough to play in Nebraska. It's hard to play in Nebraska. Nebraska is better than people think, but they're still, to your point, they're not what they used to be. They can run the ball. Michigan hasn't seen a dual-threat quarterback. Martinez can run, and what Scott Frost is doing, he's helping Martinez, taking the ball out of his hands so much and throwing it. He's running the ball. They had 430 yards of rushing last week. I don't care who you play. It's tough to get 430. So to your point, this will be an interesting game for Michigan. Yeah. They got to bring it.
They got to bring it.
And that's without Lawrence Phillips. Yeah, they did that.
They got to bring it.
That's without him on green.
Tommy Frazier.
Yeah, that's without him on green. They did that.
Yeah,
you satisfied with Braylon's answer? I think I am.
Of course, I am. But we got that answer. Who do you have winning the Big Ten?
Me?
Yeah.
I think when it all boils down, Ohio State's going to win.
Ohio State. Okay.
Don't sleep on Penn State. Right? To me,
I think Penn State will beat Michigan when they play them. I think Penn State's going to beat Iowa this week.
If Penn State beats Iowa and they beat Michigan, they got to beat Ohio State. They got to beat Ohio State. I know Ohio State comes after for Michigan, but
and they got to go there and play them.
We gonna see.
We gonna see. Drake said it best.
Penn State's good. You're right though. Drake said it best. We gonna see. You gotta pull up on me.
You gotta pull up on me.
And Michigan.
Do we have that? Do we have the pull up on me on that?
We will. Pull up on me.
No, Braylon, I love it though, man. Again, appreciate the time, man. Yeah,
all right, man.
Yeah.
It's good vibes, man. Always, man.
2-4.
You're so mad Joique's now on that board. We're going to talk about that.
And we're going to talk about that because, you know what?
Maz was in charge of the board and the chairs.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Maz, the chairs still, like now the board. I mean, come on.
I didn't know Joique played for Wayne State.
Don't do Maz like that. I just got to cover my butt.
You just got to cover.
I got to cover my butt.
Hey, man, it's a lot of negative energy in here. It's real cold in this room. But you know how you can heat it up?
How?
Give a call to Northwestern Tech. It's been that, get to that time of the year, you want to bundle up in the house with your lady. It's snuggle season, right? Your PP loans are out. They're gone. Your SBA loans, they're gone. Unemployment, that's out of there. Hey, start a new career in the industry. That's always essential. The
Get that money.
Cooling industry. To learn more today, go to northwesterntech.edu. Joique Bell, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. Big D Energy. Pull up on us.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back at it here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house as well. Appreciate Braylon Edwards' time. He came in for a second segment, man. We were, I like it. And look, I know, and D. Smitty on our YouTube chat thread says Ohio State's not as strong this year. I know that our minds are trying to convince our bodies of what we want to be true. They're fine. Are they as good as they play Alabama in the national championship level? No. Are they still Ohio State? Yes. Are they putting it together right now? Hell yes, they are. That's my only point. That's my only point. They got the Penn State game at home, and maybe I would think differently.
They have a lot of big games at home.
Well, they play at Michigan this year, but if anything, they've proven that that's their house. No, I'll never Joique, stop. Don't do this to yourself, Joique.
We still got the all-time. We still got the all-time record.
Oh my God.
We still got the all-time record.
Was that before? That was before scholarships. Before face masks, before scholarships.
We played
right.
a blind school, so we won a game. We can't control who we play. We control how we play. And right now, we still have. And what's the all-time record? We're still like, what, 10 games?
You play to win the game.
I don't know, Joique. All I know is that in the era of the Big Ten, since the year 2000, they've won 3 times.
Do you know how many they won?
3 times they've won since 2000. Yeah. I mean, go ahead and
were you talking back in the late 1990s?
Yeah, the late 1900s. The late 1900s. The late 1900s.
Late 1900s, Joique? I can't remember that far.
No, man. And so people who don't get the joke, I guess it's apparent that kids are calling the late 90s and the late 80s the late 1900s.
It sounds old, like when we used to say 1800s.
When you say it that way, it's like we have to dip the pen in the ink, and the pen's got the feather on there. And everyone's got really nice handwriting, unlike me.
Yeah, everybody wears, suits and ties. And,
they got signed something John Hancock. It's actually, the real John Hancock side.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're listening to the show right now on 93.5 The Roar, 99.1 FM, or 94.7 HD2, as soon as we cut to commercial, you hear the guy going, Uncle Sam needs you. Buy war bonds,
What's the right? What you got for us? What you got for us, Art?
Nothing. I was going to say I thought it was Herbie Hancock. It's from a movie. Never. Just forget it. Neal thought it was fun.
I did.
Give me the whack whack. I'm ready for it.
Hey man, you can't hit a home run if you don't swing for the fence.
That's right.
No, but that's my thing. I mean, I really think that C.J. Stroud's heating up, and I think he's got it figured out. And I think that Ohio State's offense is going to be a problem from the standpoint of this. See, and I love Braylon, I do, and you heard me prop him out. It's just for me, he still had that nostalgic, Michigan's running the football and stuff like. You got to score to win in college football now, man. You don't have to when you play Wisconsin, because Wisconsin can't score either. But how many points will it take Michigan to beat Ohio? They'll have to get in the 30s. They'll have to.
Yeah.
Like, let's start analytically looking at that.
Let's look at it. Let's look
they got to get in the 30s. Are they capable of getting in the 30s?
You know what I like what he said, though?
I don't even think it's about scoring. It's how many points we hold them to.
But what I like what he said is that with a young quarterback, there's a few plays in each game or each series where they will show that they're young. So with the preparation and the coaching and stuff like that, and I think the adjustments that Michigan's making this year, somebody brought it up online, I agree with them, is that you see there's some real coaching, and it goes to what Braylon said about the input of the players. You can tell that because they're maybe at halftime they're going in. Coach Harbaugh's asking certain guys, what did you see? What's working, what's not? And they've been able to adjust to that, and that's what good teams do. So, you never count out Ohio State because they'll always be there to figure it out. And sometimes it's the same thing that they had adversity early in the season. So does that help them out later on?
Right.
So we don't
it's
forget
just
about that.
My
it's not like
they're
done and gone. No, that might have just given them a wake-up call, especially to Ryan Day. Ryan Day, who wants to make it to the next level as a head coach in the NFL, right, where he has to show his pedigree of how he bounces back. So Ohio State, you can never not count them out. But the rest of the Big Ten, at least the Michigan teams, Iowa, Penn State, the gap's closer. Right? The gap's closer, and there's a chance for somebody to beat Ohio State this year. I do agree.
All right, so this is kind of what I'm kind of alluding to here. When we talk about Nebraska, like they're no sleeper. Like we're going to have to bring it. I look at the game where they played. I'm not going to talk about last. No, I'm talking about the game they played in Michigan State. They actually lost this game. They lost 20-23 in overtime. But if you look at the numbers that they did, they played a pretty good game. I mean, Martinez threw 24 for 34. The rushing attack was
I will give you that. Martinez is the kind of dude that gives Michigan problems. You know, he is that dual threat.
Yeah, right. And then you have they rushed for 188 yards, and then their defense, as far as their rush defense, pretty good. They held MSU. You know, at the beginning of the year, we were talking about MSU running back being one of the Heisman Trophy finalists if he continued to play like that, and holds him for 71 yards. Come on, it's not going to be a walk in the park, right? So if we go out here and we win this game by 2 or 3 points, it wouldn't surprise me because you never know what you're going to get with this Nebraska team.
Unless they're playing Illinois, then you know.
But
I'm sorry, man. I have a hard time with that. Dude, they lost to Illinois.
They did, and they put up. But that's the thing about this league. Like, you're not going to come out and play great every week. It's not going to.
No,
happen.
but you should beat Illinois every week that you play them.
I hear what you're saying, but
you should, especially.
It was the first game. Listen. They lost to Illinois. Okay, cool. They lost this first game of the season. They're trying to figure out who they are as a team. All right.
See, but they're not. Martinez has been the quarterback there forever. I feel like he's like the Tony Rice, the modern day Tony Rice of college football.
I
didn't say a player.
I said as a team. As they're trying to figure out who they were as a team. That's probably why they lost. They probably dropped the ball right there. Okay, but they went out the following week and won 52-7. But then again, we don't count that game, and then they go play Buffalo, beat them 28-3. But we're not gonna count that game. Then they go and lose to Oklahoma by 6 points. Come on.
Dom Rivera 88 says whoever's on the soundboard is going crazy today. LOL. They is, man. They're bringing that up. There's no doubt about it. 9 Drink says this may be the best episode of Big D Energy ever. Big D. Yeah,
I like that.
It might be. It might be. Let me see here.
Here we go.
Travis Bulk says Spartans to U of M ratio on the mural is a little skewed, my guys.
Yeah. But speaking, and we're about to shift gears a little bit real quick, but we're talking about teams, right? You're picking Ohio State to win. I'm picking Michigan to win. Braylon's picking Michigan to win the Big Ten.
D-Mac's picking Michigan.
Yeah, D-Mac's picking
Michigan.
I mean,
there's an easy answer. You guys are slappies.
I'm not slappy. I said they was going to win the Big Ten before Braylon got in here. I just didn't bet on it. Now, we're
checking the tape, by the way.
But yeah, okay, we're gonna check the tape. But when we pick a team, we're talking about picking teams. Can you bring up that graphic for us, please? NFL, we had some interesting picks right here where they kind of switched up the players and coaches and put them on different teams. And one thing I learned last year, I learned my lesson. Don't bet against Brady. Don't bet against Brady.
Yeah, and for those of you maybe listening on the radio or through the app or whatever, so essentially, graphic got tweeted out. They said it's a pick 'em, right, where you choose the team and they have like 5 columns. They have a head coach, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and a line. I'm assuming that's the offensive line. I'm assuming that's what it is. But anyway, like the head coaching choices are Flores, Belichick, and Matt Ruhl. But the Panthers are really getting a lot of shine, aren't they? It seems to me like all of a sudden Darnold's good and Matt Rule's a great coach. It's weird how it flips.
You're not lying. Mm-hmm. About the shine, too much shine to than what they deserve. I don't know. Time will tell. But Sam Darnold definitely looks rejuvenated a little bit. Matt Rule, he is proving out of the first-year coaches and stuff like the younger coaches that he can win games. So winning games in the NFL is the bottom line. And they're doing it.
All right. So what team are you picking, D-Mac?
Well, I would probably take Belichick as the coach, as the coaching options are. We can do it real quick.
I think you can't.
You have to choose the team.
You have to choose
Kansas City, the Bears are watching.
You have to take the whole team.
Yeah.
Which team would you take?
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. I get where you're going there with that.
Are we going red, orange, or?
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to go with the team of Rule, Brady, Sanders, Kittle.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
Because you can't bet. The only reason I say because you can't bet against Brady.
So George is going to play Gronk, a little bit younger, a little bit more versatile. So
Kittle.
Tom's just going to,
And I love
Gronk
Kittle.
will have 130 with 3 touches.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I get it because the bottom line is Matt Rule doesn't matter because Brady's going to call the plays. So It doesn't matter who the coach is. Kittle probably most closely resembles Gronk, I guess you would say, because Brady would incorporate him. And then Sanders, as a receiver, that would be it. Yeah, I'm going to go with Brady I'm going to go with him every single time.
Yeah, came back. I mean, that's what I'm marking with.
Yeah, that's how I would. That's how I would roll with that too. So I mean, it's just
a good team.
It is a good team.
You know what's interesting
that's
too is when you
team.
have a young coach, right? Like Tom Brady's already played for Belichick and Arians, who are sort of, and Arians is a little bit more offensive, open, stuff like this. But a Matt Ruhl with 10, 15 years of new innovation, I'd like to see him and Tom Brady have a conversation and see what that would look like. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that they would work.
Are you guys seeing? Hang on, time out. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, Neal? Is that why you look behind you? Because according to YouTube, and I don't believe much of the internet, but supposedly Dave Bing is watching right now, and he wants to know why he's not on that backboard.
I've asked the same question.
Yeah. So
there's a bunch of guys. We have to go through it.
I mean, we have a lot of guys.
Matt,
it's fair.
have to go through this again.
We have a lot of guys
twice
that's not on
over.
there.
I mean, if you want to
wait,
get
hang
into
on,
it,
time out for a second.
and
Am I just finding it? We don't have Joique. You're not on there.
No.
That's a travesty.
No, Braylon said that earlier.
Well, yeah, but I was trying to get Braylon and do. You're not on that.
No, you know what? Even if I'm not there for the Lions, at least I would have been there for Wayne State.
You got to be there for Wayne State.
Yeah, at least you got to be.
Your name still rings bells in that building.
You know what? I'm gonna pull
Justin!
Maz off of being blamed for this because whoever's responsible. I don't know, man.
Well, no, and in
your
true
home
transparency, I'm not going to call out any names, even though I did just say
What's
Justin.
Proby say? Doormat?
Yep. If you worry about your own doormat, the world would be a better place. But I will reach out to our graphics team and the wonderful Justin. We'll get it updated ASAP. I'll make sure of that.
I make this look good.
Yes, we will make it look good. And Mr. Bing, we apologize. Also apologize to my wonderful coworker who never disrespects me, Joique Bell. We will get that updated ASAP.
I mean, I love you, Art.
Well, no, I
was
was
saying that like you're responsible.
No, I will. I was joking. You disrespect me daily. Anyway, let's get back to the show.
I don't disrespect you daily.
But Justin did make the background, so round of applause for him. He spent months on it. It's a lot of work, so shout out to Justin.
It is. It's really really cool.
So you're saying Justin?
Hey, would somebody quit getting Maz to quit signing off on stuff around here?
Yeah,
right,
that
to
is
get
true.
It done right?
Yeah, if Maz wouldn't have said, if it was Maz's point, it'd be nothing but New York teams. So
it wouldn't have got by the late 1900s.
He would rather put a paper boy in there than put Brady up there. Man, you see?
That one hurt his soul. So what you're saying, Art, is that you're not the guardian of the mural up there.
I like what you did there. I am not the guardian, but I can tell you about Guardian. That's right, because it is secure. It is up front, and it protects you. It's your local security experts. We're talking about Guardian Alarm. I love that. Thank you so much. I paid my child support on time. Anyway, a good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm, state-of-the-art technology, keeps you protected 24/7. Also got convenient features. Maybe you want to check the carbon monoxide. Maybe you want to check the temperature, or maybe you just want to lock or unlock your doors. There is no better app. Brand, you should say, than Guardian Alarm. So make sure that you call 1-800-STAY-OUT. I miss that so much. I need fish to say stay out. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Thank you. Guardian Alarm, been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe. We got more Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Final segment of the show here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house. And speaking of being in the house, Woodward Sports always in the house on the Lions game days. You can join us for our Lions pregame show, brought to you by Jose Cuervo. We'll be live at O'Toole's in Royal Oak this Sunday from 11 to 1. Ryan Armani, Maz, Jade, WRIF, Kennedy, the whole squad. We're squad deep up in there as we will broadcast live on Woodward Sports and 101.1 WRIF. Myself and Joique were out there. It was a good time, man.
A good time.
We were chopping it up, brother. I certainly did enjoy that. Post-game got you covered as well. Every week, downtown Stick is in the building. The stick is my guy, man. The brass rail is my spot. Those are two of my things right there. That's at Adams in Woodward. They'll start streaming right after the 2-minute warning of every Lions game. Get the reactions, the crowd reactions, all of it. They have a DJ, drinks, a Woodward VIP section. There's food and more. Make sure you stop by after every Lions home game at the Brass Rail Detroit. So that's a good time as well. Got you covered any which way you want. D-Mac, I know the Detroit Red Wings. The preseason's still going on, isn't it?
It is.
That NHL preseason's way too long.
A few games left, slowly but surely. But the Red Wings are in Columbus tonight to take on the Blue Jackets. I have the lineup here. We got Victor Bradstrom and Alex Nedeljkovic in goal. Nedeljkovic looking to find his game. Only .850 save percentage, over 5 goals against. So he's a pro looking to bounce back. Your boy Filip Zadina looking to get on the board with a goal. He's got an assist playing his 4th game of the preseason. You got
real quickly, D-Mac, can we agree? I mean, he needs to get one. Like,
yeah, it always helps, but it's a bigger picture than this about the overall, because you see him playing with Larkin, you see him playing with Raymond. They
I want
got
him for his
going.
sake.
I mean, Lucas Raymond's got 2 goals and 4 assists in 3 games. He's in tonight. So is Dylan Larkin. Adam Ernie, Bobby Ryan's in. My boy Giovanni Smith. So yeah, it'll be a great game. Joe Veleno. So good road game for Detroit. Always tough to play in Columbus, but. We had a little thing on Mo Sider here, Art. No? Okay. Anyways, Mo Sider not playing tonight, but looking good. So you just want the confidence. So what you want to see is you want to see them continue. And you're not going to score 4 power play goals a game, but continue to draw opportunities and use that as an asset. But yeah, Zadina gets on the board. I'm not going to tell you it's not better than not for his confidence, but it's not the end of the world.
No, I get it. I understand, and I'm very much a bottom line guy. With all apologies to Braylon and Ryan Armani, 2-4.
Let's wait till the end of the month.
Let's wait till and D-Max. We hashed it out. D-Max cool with it. Right around Halloween, right?
Right. We're gonna have a Halloween.
We're gonna have a Halloween check-in with my boy Filip Zadina, because that's.
And you know what gluten-free or sugar-free? Can I get you like sugar-free cookies or something? Or
you know what?
What's your go-to snack?
I like a plain donut. Like the cider mill plain donut,
Perfect.
only a couple grams of sugar in there.
There it is. I will hand you that. We'll have this conversation. I mean, if I bring you more than one, it might be a harder conversation.
I'll eat 2. I'll eat 2 of those, as long as they're plain. No cinnamon sugar, no stuff like that. The plain ones I'll eat. What's your go-to, like, you know, because you're a health-conscious guy. You know, you watch what you put in your body. What's the thing you eat that you're not supposed to eat? You know you're not supposed to. What?
Oreos.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we had this talk, like, you know, you take the Oreos, you untwist them, you put them in a cup of milk, you pour the milk in there, you let it sit for a second, you smash it up down in there, you have a little Oreo cereal.
Listen, that's great. We got breaking news. Justin has updated us as far as the board goes. If you look, Bing is on there directly behind Neal at the bottom. So, can you...
Behind who?
Bing. And then Lanier
is behind who?
Is right at the top right under the R in Detroit.
Oh, wait a minute. No, if I go like...
Let me see if I can... No,
I got to go this way.
Lambier is below the R. But where did you say that Bing was?
Bing is right next to Illich.
Young Bing.
Yo, this is like Where's Waldo? It's Where's Bing?
Right where it says sports at the bottom?
Yeah.
Right above the N on network?
Oh, okay. We see it. Yeah.
Here we go.
He's right
there he is.
We probably, I will talk and see if we can move him, since he is a watcher of the show and a listener of the network. I think that's awesome. So let me talk to my people. I'll have them call him and let him know. So.
I have a 16 by 20 autograph by Dave Bing as part of the collection.
You wish you knew my people.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer Dave Bing.
That's
by the
funny.
way.
I brought you around my people.
Yeah, one time, and you made that terrible mistake. Don't know why you did that.
Hey, but did you enjoy it though?
I did. It was a great time.
Reese's Pieces salt and vinegar chips. Those are mine.
Ooh, I literally thought you were picking my brain, D-Mac, because that's my
we
thing, too.
About, like,
You're an Aries, too.
I'm an Aries, yeah.
You and I have...
What's that? I'm Reese's Pieces. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and salt vinegar chips.
Pieces is not the same as the Reese. So I do... All right, so at home, I do the Oreo. But if I go out to get a snack, I'll go to Dairy Queen. I'll get the Blizzard. I get the cookie dough and Reese mixed together. They're pretty good.
Can't go wrong with that.
I do. That is one of the things I do. I do miss a blizzard. I do miss a blizzard. Yeah.
You know, they have some keto blizzard, low sugar for you if you want one.
Well,
no, they don't. No, let me stop before I put out the wrong. No, they don't.
No, I usually roll. I'm a big dark chocolate guy, so I'll do some bark thins from time to time.
Okay.
Like
the dark thins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have 10 grams of sugar worth of dark thins sometimes.
Dark
bark
chocolate.
thins.
You don't chew Big Red, then you.
Why is it? So how many grams of sugar you have today?
This morning, D-Max just
how many will I have in a day?
How many? Yeah.
I'm under 30 every day.
Under 30 every day.
Yeah.
Bless
Under
your
30
heart.
what?
Bless
Under
your
30
heart.
grams of sugar every day.
Bless your heart.
Sandwiches?
So roughly about
one Oreo.
a half. No, an Oreo is about 3 grams of sugar per cookie. 3 to 4 grams of sugar. Might be 5. It's somewhere between 3 and 5.
Okay.
I'll eat 2 of them.
Oh, you say you can eat 3.
Yeah, 2 to 3 of them.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna bring you 3 Oreos.
I'll eat them too.
Yeah, okay.
Don't miss. Reminder, AEW tonight.
This guy's
Dynamite.
hardcore. Less than 30 grams of sugar for the last how many years?
Going on 6 years. Yeah. I'll have to show you guys a picture. I'll have to tweet the picture. Follow me at Neal Ruhl. I'll tweet a picture.
He's dedicated, and he doesn't go back on his bets. It's a beautiful thing.
Content.
Well, we are going to check the tape.
Right?
Right?
Have easy right away.
Absolutely. Appreciate everybody watching and listening here today. Big thanks to Braylon Edwards for pulling up on us here. Joique Bell, D-Mac, Art, Fish. Good job on everybody.
Gang, gang.
Hey, see you tomorrow. Well, see you later.